One art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go! One shot for the kill, the breeze cut, freeze up, straight dropping the kills. I'm talking taking over pieces and shares, a bomb break sky high, check the movement is here, yeah. It's one heart, one shot, now the future is yours, go! Turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. You put the balls in the brakes. I'm talking one chance at best, yes. Painting pictures for the culture, keep the brushes fresh. Flip the cover, work the drummer, passion never rests. Freedom is our teacher under pressure, now we blessed. See, I was so good for the go. There's one art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah. It's one art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
What is up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good, Paul. Been pretty busy with redoing this thing.
Yeah, it looks like.
I mean, actually, someone came in here and just stole all my stuff. It's weird. Moved it in the hallway.
My wife was like, "Wow, his room is like really clean now."
You know what's funny about remodeling a room is it was getting really small really quickly with just all the stuff and crap. And then you push all of it in the hallway and you're like, man, this room is huge. Like, I could put the desk there. I could put it there.
It looks huge right now. I mean, my goodness. And it looks really bright compared to what it was. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
I guess that's what white walls do to you.
That's what, yeah. I went with Decorator White. Thank you, Chris and Becky.
It's a fun Decorator, white. I mean, you know, I guess the RGB is not in these days, right? It now the new thing is like bright lights lighting a natural space, right? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, maybe I would have put the RGBs out. They're all buried under a bunch of stuff out in the hallway. So
I love green RGB. Can't go wrong with that. So, you know, that's my thing though. So you're pretty busy this week, man.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's going to take you to paint that?
Well, I mean, I got the white done right away. I just I had to fix a hole in the wall back up there. But when I first put up my backdrop, I did not put one side in the stud. I put some heavy duty anchors in there, and it'll be like, oh, it'll be fine. I pulled the chain the one time, and the things were collapsed. So,
gotta have
mistake learned. No, I got to do the black still in the background and on the other side of the camera here. I got a new desk. I got a new standing desk. I got a whole bunch of new stuff I'm going to put in here.
I'm really jealous about that standing desk. I wish I would have got a standing desk when I got this desk, but I got to live with it now for a while. So,
like right now, I just have my computer and everything just sitting on my foundation wall. And
I saw that picture.
I sent you a picture. It's very rudimentary here right now with how I've set it. I
feel like you're probably like, gotta type, you know.
Well, I have no desk to lean on either, so it's kind of weird. It's weird. You're gonna hear a lot of this armrest from my chair today, I
think. Well, this is interesting. So we're streaming tonight on both your channel and my channel, so I'm curious to see how that goes. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We will see if anybody's in the chat.
I just noticed that we could do that on this thing. I know that we were talking about how we would eventually run this thing on 1 week on your channel, 1 week on my channel, to try to get kind of both subscriber bases to follow both of us. That was kind of the intention.
Right.
But I didn't realize that we could literally just stream on both of our channels through the
cool.
one thing. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
I dig it.
I'm streaming on the A7S3 tonight as well, which is something I've been
Well,
trying
that's
out.
different.
So.
You usually do your APS-C.
Yep. I've been trying. I
Is
mean,
it does your
I've done this A6400. I've done the ZVE10. I did one on the ZV1, I think. Well, I did a
are
couple
you
because I did that overhead cam on that unboxing stream we did.
does the A7S3 have USB? Does it go streaming out USB, or do you have to use the imaging edge?
I'm still using Imaging Edge because I don't think they have that update yet for it. Why? I
I think
don't
so either.
know.
They need to
Come on,
they need
Sony,
to
you got it.
add that update. They need to add the autofocus for animals in video, and they also need to add that awesome focus breathing compensation from the A7 IV. They need to add that.
I mean, yeah, I don't have any lenses that I don't think would work on that anyways, but I don't know, unless the Sony lens
24
might. But
millimeter.
yeah, that's it's they need to add that A7 IV update like fast because they're kind of pissing off a lot of A7S3 and FX3 owners that don't get the
Makes no
features that
sense.
a $1,000 less camera offers. So that's kind of what Sony
And
does.
it's
Though
when it's just software related, and you know that the A7 IV has either the same internals as the A7S3 or not even as good of internals as the A7S3, you're like, come on. We know that the A7S3 has the capabilities of doing it with a firmware update. So I think they will. I think it's give them like another month or two. I hope.
Yeah, and
But
not that everyone's going to be streaming with a basically a cinema camera anyway. So maybe that's why they're not in a hurry to put a USB streaming on here. But I mean,
right.
it's something that ZV1 has had now for what, 2 years, a year and
Yeah,
a
I
half.
mean,
So they got to get their
crazy.
stuff together.
But yeah, on that same note, like, this camera availability and chip shortage is crazy. They stopped producing the A6100 and they stopped producing the A7 II, which that should have happened like a long time ago anyway. I feel like who's going to buy an A7 II when the A7 III is out? The price difference was like nothing, like not that big of a deal. And then they also put a hold on the A7C, which is kind of a bummer because it's, I feel like the A7C is a better camera than the A7 III, but without having that viewfinder, and has better autofocus, and I think the colors are a little bit better. But and then you got the ZVE10, which is a weird one because it's like, oh, hey, we just came out with this new camera, and like 2 months later, oh, we're discontinuing this for making this for a while.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's not
what?
discontinued. Let's not.
I shouldn't say
people.
discontinued. They're pausing it. They're halting production of it until they can pretty much get caught up with this chip shortage.
Yeah, pretty much every new Sony camera, including at this point the A7 IV now, is on back order and or on pause for production.
Right. Well, so the A7C and the ZVE10 and the 6600 have all been put on pause. Like they're not producing any more of them. And my theory is so they can get those back orders of the A7S3 and A7 IV and the FX3 all under control, because those cameras, obviously there's probably a bigger overhead with those. So they want to get those cameras and orders fulfilled first. But it's kind of a bummer that they, I think, because especially for your channel, right? I mean, a lot of your videos that are more popular are those more affordable cameras that people can actually purchase. So like the ZV-10 and the ZV-1. Luckily, I guess they're still making that ZV-1, but that ZV-10 is being halted until they can get caught back up again. And who knows when that could happen? It could be till the end of this year before I think I read something that they're not going to really get caught up on this chip shortage until maybe the end of this year or the start of next year, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, I hope it's not that long, but so yeah, I did do a list of all the stuff that it's not necessarily, so like some of these are paused or back ordered. So when you actually go to try to order these things now too, like the stock is gone on everything. So like the A7 IV is now listed as, again, it's listed as new item coming soon. It went from in stock to a back order to new item coming soon. So they're still going to try to produce that one, clearly is what that means. It's
Right.
just going to be a while. You can get that camera if you want the 28-70 kit lens with it. So if you want that camera, you're going to be spending $2,700 right now to get a lens you probably don't want. Honestly,
Well,
though, if you bought that thing right now, you could probably relist that and sell it for more. I looked at the A7S III is on a back order, which means you can't even get it. It's not coming soon. It's back ordered, and there's no
no
expectation.
estimated date of arrival, right?
They recently just had one. It's gone now, but they listed an A7S III refurbished for $4,500 on B&H, which is
Really?
$1,000 more than the price of a new one. That's
B&H did that?
B&H on their the refurbished like used section.
Usually their used section is cheaper than the new price. I've never seen them do the whole price inflection thing that like eBay and everybody does.
Well, I think it was like Sydney or someone. Someone showed their like picture of B&H's. They screenshot it, and it was like $4,500 is what B&H was selling it for, because they know that it's not available, and if you want it, someone's going to pay for it. You cannot get the A7S III in any way with any kit lens or anything. It's completely on back order. So if people out there sold their A7S III for the A7 IV, they might have gotten $1,000 more if they waited like a month. Oops. FX3 is completely on back order. It's not in stores. The ZVE10 is only available right now as a white camera with either the kit lens or the 35 millimeter. It is not available in black in any form with or without kit lenses. There still is some on Amazon, but not many. I think I looked at the other day and it said like 13 left in stock, and I think that might even been the kit lens as well. The ZV1 is available used right now for $612 at B&H.
Which is about, I mean, because the new price is $699,
yeah.
so it's.
I didn't see any new ones, but maybe somehow it filtered to used at that point. The A7C, there's one available used for $1,600, or a kit lens for $1,798, which isn't terrible price, but I mean, you'd think that the body on that camera new is about $1,700. So
I paid $1,618 for this one with the EDU discount. And I mean, I like this camera a lot, but I will tell you that if this camera gets really high in price, like if people are willing to pay like, $1,800 for this camera used, I would be very tempted to sell it.
Yeah.
And just hold out for a good deal on an A7 IV or something. I don't know.
Then you're gonna have to get some kind of second camera, Paul. Because you got to have at least two cameras to be a good creator. Because every time when I only had one camera, that was my biggest problem. Is I could never film myself using the camera, or you could never do overhead shots. So having a secondary camera is great, and that's why having some of these cheaper end cameras too, like the A7C or the 6400 ZVE10, those are great options because they're going to still look pretty good and comparable to your main camera, but at a third the price, maybe even less. So yeah, the A7C is available in a kit lens if you get the black and silver, and it's $2,000. So yeah, pretty much everything is either on back order or sold. So if you can find some used ones, or they might be expensive now. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully this doesn't last too much longer. So I don't know if it's just this chip lens or not, but kind of feels like it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's who would have thought that it'd get this bad? But I mean, it's I went to the store the other day. I was filling my gas tank up, and I walked in and I was like, "There's no Dr. Pepper at the fountain," and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've been trying to order it, but that's like the only one flavor that the company doesn't have in stock, and then they have no idea when they're gonna get more of it." And I'm like, what? And then somebody was telling me that, like, I guess Walmart now has like tons of Christmas stuff that is in their stores now, I guess, because they're just now getting all the like the cargo shipments from overseas or whatever that with all the Christmas stuff in it, and they're
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't
Well,
told my wife
I
that
mean,
yet.
I know the brand that I, like all these Cuts clothing stuff that I get, they're the same deal where it's all in cargo ships and they're waiting for stuff. And I think they're quite a bit better because they're getting from different stuff, but there's a lot of cargo ships that are still trying to dock that have been delayed like crazy. So
I just think I don't understand it. I think it's crazy, but I mean, man, but that's a whole nother story. Just getting the shipments, right? And then we have this thing that plagues electronics, which is the chips, and well, obviously we've been seeing it in graphics cards, and it looks like now it's trickling down into these cameras here clearly by the prices that, I mean, like you said, people are selling their A7S3s for like $4,000 right now, and people are paying for a used one for that. I mean, you and I could go out and sell our A7S3s, and if we were patient, we could just hold out and wait till it came back in stock again, however long that takes, and then you get a brand new one with a brand new warranty that starts all over again and make money. It's
So
crazy.
Paul, this is a new thing tonight, trying to stream on both channels. There is like an overlay in our program that shows all the chats that are coming in.
Do you see chats on your stuff?
I have one that's on like the actual video feed on my channel, but I'm not seeing it show up in here. So bear with us for a sec, but I thought it would show up as both in here.
I thought it would too. It's interesting. Very, very interesting. I thought that the chats would show up for both of us, but maybe we got to go in. This is why we testing this out tonight for the first time and seeing how exactly this works. So yeah, I haven't seen anything go through on the chats yet, and it seems like it's tied to my channel mainly. Let's see. I'm curious if we go to your, like I said, like we go to your video. You said you have some chats though in your video, right?
Someone just posted something anyways. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little confused on why it's not showing up on the side here.
I'll have to reach out to Restream and see. Definitely interested to see why that is the case. But yeah, I see. Gene. I purchased one of the Sony RX100 Mark 7s in my state, and it was the display model in the shop. No stores could say when they would have access to one. I'm curious, why did you buy the? I'm guessing you do mainly photography. Why did you buy the 7 versus like a ZV1 or something? Just curious.
Availability. I mean, the RX100 is still a great camera. I personally thought the ZV1 was going to put an end to it, but
I mean, I thought so too. I mean, because it's cheaper, and I felt like all the quality was there, other than like the super zoomy lens, right? That's like the biggest difference. So I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. That's why when people say I bought the RX 100 Mark 7, I'm like, did you look at the ZV1? You still have time to return it? I don't know. But right now you couldn't get one anyway. Like he said, he had to buy the store model just for the 7. That's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why the chat's not showing up. But
I just put a thing in mine, and it popped up in ours. So I really don't know.
Oh, you did one on yours, and it popped up on yours?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why you test stuff. So Paul, we're getting pretty close on having the new channel branding, everything done. Working on that intro. We got everything.
I'm gonna say that I think I did a pretty decent job on making the branding look pretty good. We've been very happy with the logo design. Everybody that I show the logo to, we've been kind of Kyle and I are reaching out to all these other creators that we want to have on the guests, and I think that was like the first. Everybody's like, "Ooh, I really like that logo." So we got somebody to make a logo for it. Just did a really great job off Fiverr, and yeah, we're really excited about it. Really excited about it. What's up, guys? Lost and So I'm not
I'm
even
doing a
gonna say
test, Paul. So stuff should show up. I don't know why
Oh,
that other one
you
didn't
that
show up, but
was that your channel?
yeah.
You and your wife's channel? Oh, you got me
No,
excited
that's
there.
my band channel. No, I was
Oh,
just trying
your
to test
band
it and
channel.
see if it worked. So the other one was a live chat at 8:12 p.m. It says. So I think someone put in a comment.
Oh, they put a comment in before we were live, which is why
Yeah,
it didn't end up showing up. Okay, so yeah. It's just a light night tonight. Nobody's shown up for the live stream tonight. I guess it must be a crazy week or something.
I don't know. Also, we just figured out we could do both channels, so I didn't even get a chance to promote it at all on my channel.
Yeah, I mean,
Like what, 10
I
minutes
created it
before?
this last minute today, so I didn't get a good job of promoting it, but I think there's a lot of big streams going on tonight. I think so.
Well, I think what was Jake Sloan was doing something, and Dobo got a channel going tonight.
Oh yeah, Dobo's always on tonight. Yeah. Uh, so anyway, I mean, so yeah, this the camera creator camp will be great. We just got to get that. We want to produce it pretty well. So we want to have a good intro, and we want to have it more, I don't know, interacting gaming feel. So probably have like a lightning round. We wanted to get to know the creators more than just like, hey, what kind of camera stuff do you guys shoot with? Like, kind of get to know these creators like on a more personal level. Not just your basic like, hey, what kind of camera do you shoot with, and stuff like that. So probably do like a lightning round for that kind of thing, and obviously open it up for Q&As for the creators we have on. But and then maybe like some sort of a game. I don't know. Make it fun. But anyway, we're very close. We just got to make intro and do a few things. So we say very close. What do you think? Probably
Well,
like
I want to make a new intro. So right now you get a countdown. We have like a countdown timer to the stream starts. That's mostly just for us to get like last minute quick
right.
ready. I want to kind of incorporate the countdown into our intro.
Oh, that's what you're thinking. That's a
So
very good idea.
it'll start as the countdown, go into the intro, and then we'll come live out of the intro. I do want to have a couple like segment transition videos where like so you remember Paul, like when Peter Lindgren started doing his like Q&A box, how he had like a little
I love
montage
that where
thing.
he has like the Q&A, and then like he has like for the whiteboard, he always has like the little, what's coming because he has the little
Mhm.
whiteboard thing. Yeah.
It's a fun thing. I don't know what that style's referencing from. I feel like I've seen that thing in some kind of movie or film or TV show or something, but it's kind of a fun. It's a nice little natural transition, and I want to do something like that as well. Right now, we're trying to pile up some footage that we took from this summer, plus some footage from when you were at Camera Camp.
Yep. And
Some
a lot of
footage that was
creators have said that
donated
we
by
can
some of these.
share their footage. Yep.
Yep, some of the creators gave us access to some of the footage from their Camera Camp. We're not affiliating with Sony Camera Camp, just to let everyone know. This is its own thing, kind of with the
Right.
vibe of getting creators together, hanging out, shooting the shit, whatever.
Right. I mean,
But it's
obviously, I'm a camera camp nerd, so I mean, that's like my calling card,
yeah.
right? One time at camera camp hashtag, but I love that experience, and that was the kind of idea with Kyle and I. Were like, hey, maybe we can do like a live stream that has that same feel, and then who knows, maybe one day we are cool enough to make like our own camera camp or something. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the thing that I kind of took from just like watching everyone's Camera Camp videos is that they all learned a little bit about gear or a little bit about the new releases, but everyone really learned about each other that was there. Like they thought, like you thought you knew a creator, but you really only ever know what they want you to know or the
Right.
persona they put on. But sometimes when you get people in different environments hanging out, you see a different side of them or something maybe you didn't know. And that's why I kind of liked the idea of the Camera Camp or the creator camp kind of vibe, was to get all these people that you guys all watch and sit down and chat with us, hang out, ask questions, kind of different aspect of. I mean, there's channels that do this, but a lot of them are pre-recorded and edited
Right.
and whatnot. So, which isn't, not to say that live isn't worse or better, but it's fun when you get access to be able to ask questions to someone live instead of just in the comments. So, It's definitely a fun environment doing the live stream myself, I think too. So but yeah, yeah, I got to get those videos done. We got a lot of music that me and Paul picked from Epidemic Sound, not sponsored, but maybe.
Oh, but maybe. Yeah.
Still have our logo that we're still implementing.
Hey, if you're watching, you get sneak peek. Why not? Yes, Deontay, man. I guess everybody, they can't get a camera right now, so they're like, I don't want to tune into a live stream and get my hopes up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would guess that you're gonna start seeing some, I don't know, remaining ones that are in stores getting put up for, I don't know. Hopefully the used market doesn't just get crazy on cameras and make everything expensive. So
I mean, here's the thing. It's bound to happen because it's simple, basic supply and demand economics, right? If you can't get something, then the price of it's going to go up. So the used market is getting crazy. I can already see it by the A7 S3 and the FX3 sales. It is crazy, and it's gonna get worse until it gets better, essentially.
Mhm.
So until they get a handle on this, yeah, people are gonna be able to get top dollar for their A7 S3s, FX3s, A7 4s, and possibly this A7C once all the stores finally get rid of all that stock and you literally can't find it anywhere. So, and I think that because of the chip shortage, we're also going to see an influx, which I think is going to be cool. I mean, nowadays cameras, every camera is good. Whether you shoot on Sony, whether you shoot on Canon, and even this like new Nikon Z9, they did a really great job with that camera. I think there's great cameras out there. No camera is terrible. You can do anything with all these cameras, but I think we're gonna start seeing an influx in like lenses now. Like I think Sony's gonna go and start remaking some of these lenses that have been old motors, and they're gonna update them so they can work with a newer autofocus. And I hope we see some newer stuff. You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see a 50 millimeter 1.8 that's kind of like in the same body as the 20 millimeter.
Mhm.
Just that G lens that maybe you don't want to spend $2,000 on the 1.2, but you don't
Right.
like the 50 millimeter they have right now is like one of the first lenses they ever came out with for the E mount, and it's like $200, and
It's
the
not a bad,
autofocus is kind of
it's not a bad photo lens, but it's not a great video lens.
right. The autofocus is loud, and so anyway,
Mhm.
I think they just need to just remake that lens, and they can sell it for $800 or whatever, and people will pay for it, and
I could see him putting in. I mean, like I'm shooting on the 20 millimeter G lens right now. I love this lens. It should be a G Master. I don't know why it's not. I don't know what
hey,
is supposed
hey,
to differentiate the
I
two,
don't care.
but
I don't care what you classify it as. If it's not a G Master, then you don't have to pay that G Master premium price. Like I mean, I had to pay. Well, I got this lens for that's a story for
yeah,
another day.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but
They're
I
not
paid.
much different in price, but they still use the same build. They still use the same materials. They use
Right.
what looks like the same lens, like everything. It's just,
Does it have focus breathing issues as well?
um,
Okay, so yes. Okay.
I mean, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Any why? See, the funny part was, for the longest time I never really even noticed. Everybody's like, "Oh, the focus breathing is so terrible on this 24 millimeter," and like I never really noticed until somebody told me what it was. I was like, "Oh, okay,
Hmm.
yeah, I get what you're talking about. I see what it's doing there."
I had a weird problem with the Sigma 30. I wouldn't say necessarily a problem, but on the A6400, there's no like sensitivity control on that camera, like there is on this camera, or even I think the ZVE10 might even have that out too. But if you're at your desk and I was just talking with my hands, my hand movement would be enough for the lens to, or the focus to kind of zoom
Oh
in and
man,
out. But it was
pulsing like a Panasonic lens.
it was very subtle. It wasn't bad. You wouldn't notice if you're looking at me, you're not going to notice it. But if you're looking at my composition, that was like perfectly in the frame, whatever those shots were, you would see it zoom in and out, and it would be really distracting because of the way I framed it. And I didn't notice that at first until all of a sudden, it was like after I did my video on it, I was like, oh man, this lens is driving me crazy right now. Like when I'm trying to edit it, mostly because when you are trying to like make cuts in your footage,
Right.
sometimes when you cut in and out, that's when all of a sudden it would just skip and it would be really noticeable. So on these cameras, you can just turn the sensitivity down to almost nothing, and then it's going to lock to your eye. And then even if you hold your hand, it's not going to lock, jump to it right away. So, it's one feature, Paul, that I would really like to see on the, what do you call it? The A7S III that the other cameras have is the, like the product display mode.
Product display mode. Do they add that to those A7 IV?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't think they did. I think the product showcase mode is like
Well, it's on
for the cheaper cameras, ZV1 and ZV10.
It's on the ZV-E10, which because they can put it on that tells me that they should be able to put it on.
I mean, they could if
the
they wanted to.
A6400 and stuff because it's the same sensors, but yeah, I mean that would be a fun thing to have for the one camera where people are using and putting display products in front of the camera all the time. So
right, instead of like, oh, gotta make sure I block my face, whatever. Deontay said there's a ton of A7 IIIs on the market right now, though along with the A6400. So there are those options. The A6400 and really the A7 III, they're both really good options if there are tons of them on the market. I haven't really been paying too much attention to that. I'm sure there are a number of A7 IIIs out there because people are trying to move over to the A7 IV. But yeah, the A7 III is still a great camera. But even they're out of stock new on the website, so they're probably not cheap if they're out on the used market. They're probably getting close to what a new one would cost.
You're talking about
now.
the A7 III?
A7 III, yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing them on Facebook pop up, and people want like $2,000 with like a crappy kit lens with like the 28 to 70 lens on it.
Right. Which is crazy. I mean,
see.
I guess now's the time to be selling your A7 III. Maybe I should have held on to mine a little bit longer.
A7 III is in stock at B&H Photo for $1,998. So this thing was being sold for like
they raised the price back up again to it.
Yeah, it's back to its original full price. Yeah, that's not awesome. I thought they were going to keep that at $1,700 and not put it back up again, but if they have it and it's in stock and they can get it, they might as well. So,
and people are paying for it. I mean, yeah, might as well. 6400s, yeah, they haven't halted production on those supposedly yet, right? They didn't really announce those.
They probably weren't really producing many of them anyways, but
yeah, I mean, with the ZV-E10, that's what I thought was weird. I would have rather them like stop producing the A6400 and keep producing the ZV-E10. Because it's got to be like the same internals, I'd love to see a breakdown of like what's in those. Gotta be same.
It's probably something to do with the amount of sales they're having for both and the profit on the. I mean, right. I imagine the profit on the A6400 is probably a little better than the profit on the ZV-E10, just because it's a more expensive camera and it's probably takes about as much to build it. So
right.
So might have something to do with it, but yeah, it sucks because it's like right now they put out a camera, people are starting to finally get it, they're starting to like it. Now they're looking at how to make it better. So they're looking at like all those videos I have with the ZV-E10, like they're still getting views, and that I'm surprised that they are because you can't even buy the camera right now, anyways. But
and man, I'll tell you what, a camera that ZV-1, man, I was really hoping they were going to make a ZV-2 this year or ZV-1 Mark II or whatever they're going to end up naming it. I'd love to see a version 2 of that with some improved stuff, but clearly I guarantee they're not going to make that this year, and we'll be lucky to get one next year, it seems like, just because of the way things have been going. But I mean, I guess time will tell.
I feel like we would have seen any new stuff come through. Probably CES would have had something. if there's any like new camera drops. But.
Not really. CES is mainly always electronics. They always show off their TVs. They always show off their cars, whatever they're making in that realm. And they don't typically show off. If they show anything off, they would show it off at NAB. But even then, they usually only do their cinema camera stuff there. So anyway, I don't know. We'll see. But you saw Teppo. Teppo, you watched Teppo?
Mm-hmm.
He's been
Matty Apoya's brother.
Yes.
Yep.
He started using the ZV-1 now, which is what I thought was pretty funny. He shoots Canon, and he was debating whether he was going to sell his Canon stuff and go Sony because he shot Sony for the last year with his brother, and he ended up just buying a ZV-1, and he's like, you know what, this is good enough for all the vlogging. And he literally the video today he posted was him vlogging outside with the ZV-1, and I'm almost positive that the guy probably was just using the built-in microphone, wasn't using an external. I mean, everything looked great, everything sounded great. I mean, it really is impressive what that ZV-1 can do for the bang for your buck, Yeah,
it is cool. And and I know his channel, he's very mindful about catering to beginners. Like Maddie's just showing you the best that there is out there. Like he'll talk about the FX3 and the A7S3 and kind of the stuff he's using. Teppo has always kind of had, he's done some of those vlogs with the M50 and Canon M50 and things like that. So I'm not surprised that he's using the ZV-1. But right now, who isn't using the ZV-1 for vlogging? So
I mean,
this is a
everybody
awesome camera for vlogging.
Oh yeah, it's a perfect little vlog camera. But man,
and you can get some cool accessories to make this better. But it does get built out more the more you start putting on this. So
really, I personally where do I find videos on accessories? I don't.
I mean, you can check out lots of channels on YouTube, I'm sure. If you want to, I do have an accessory list for this too. I'm not promoting that, but I personally, when I go outside and use this camera, I still just can't deal with the internal mic. I don't know how Lindgren and all those guys make this mic sound good.
I don't know either. It sounds great, but then I feel like I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's just because when you A and B it compared to something else, then you're like, oh man, that sounds awful. But when I shoot with this, I've tried so many different EQ plugins and compression and whatever. And I'm coming from a music studio background too, recording studio. So I feel like I got enough plugins to make any mic sound good, but I cannot make this thing sound, I feel like, the way that they're making their sound. So I don't know what they're using, but.
And you typically use the
I just use the Rode Micro. I would be interested in there's that new Rode mic they just put out.
Oh, that Rode
Rode Go 2, I think, or Video Mic 2 or something like that.
Video Mic Go 2.
Okay, it's kind of like a mini NTG mic for $100. It does not have power, so you don't have to charge it. There's no volume knobs, but you can use it as a USB mic. You can use it as a live stream mic. It looks like a really nice kind of secondary mic, and I kind of want one. So
honestly, it looks like the mic that I would be referring to everybody if they're in a budget. Like I'd say, forget the micro at this point and just spend the extra $40 and get that one because it's going to be a little bit better. Now, the thing that sucks with the micro or the new mic is you had to still buy that furry windshield separately, like where the micro comes with it and everything. But
that is
we got Gordon Reed here. He has a question for you because you're the pro. I know I am late to the party, but what's the best affordable lens for the ZV-E10? Well, you've come to the right place for this because Kyle has had this camera for a while, and he has this A6400, which is a very similar style. I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to let Kyle answer it because he's had a ton of videos.
It's a loaded question. Are you looking for a prime lens that only stays one focal length, or are you looking for the best zoom lens?
If you're looking for a YouTube content creator's lens where you're going to be doing mainly shots like this, you definitely need to pick up the 16mm Sigma, the 1.4 lens. That thing is the bomb diggity.
Yep.
But it's still like Kyle said, it's not really a great vlogging lens because of the active steady shot cropping in, and it's not nearly wide enough.
First off, I feel like if you're vlogging and walking around, I just don't like using active stabilization on the camera. The ZV-E10 crops in way too much. Even with the 10 to 18, I feel like it's kind of But if you're not using the stabilization, and the Sigma 16 is like not a bad lens. Like I've used that on my A6400, which doesn't have stabilization for 3 years. It's going to be shaky at times, and you will want to gimbal sometimes. But I mean, vlogging doesn't always have to be walking around with the camera too. You can always set it on stuff and walk up to it. And in fact, some of the better channels end up looking better because they do stuff like that. So, but that was my first lens I bought for my A6400. When I bought that was the Sigma 16 because it's like night vision at night. First off, with that
Yes.
1.4, it is really sharp. It is super sharp, and you're going to get a focal length that looks similar to what you're seeing now. Probably more like yours, Paul, because yours is a 24.
24, so it's more like this, and my
Mine's a
camera
20,
is
so
like arm length away. So this would be a little bit too wide for vlogging. Like I couldn't hold it out this far. It would be more like
yeah.
that would be more like it. So, but
if you're looking for the most like useful lens, 100% that Sony 10 that Sony 18 to 105 I feel like is the most useful lens.
18 to
more
105 is a
expensive.
great lens, but you couldn't use it for vlogging. I think 18 is
I think
just
you
a little
can.
bit too.
Oh, I mean, I've used it before. You're not. The cool thing with the 18 to 105 is it has built-in OSS. So on the ZV-E10, you can actually if you go to your stabilization on your ZV-E10, you'll have off, standard, and active. Now, standard only comes up when it's connected to an OSS lens, and there's like a 2% crop. It's not a big crop at all, but that OSS on that 18 to 105 makes that camera look great. It made the A6400 look like it had IBIS. Plus that 18, you do need to hold it a little further away to get it a little bit wider of a shot. But when I did my Mexico video with that lens, that whole thing was shot on that lens for the whole video. And I think it's a great lens. It's not going to be great at night because it isn't f4, but 18 all the way out to 105 is a pretty awesome focal length to have, especially if you're only like bringing one lens with you on a trip. That was always kind of my go-to. If I'm going to go somewhere and I only can put my camera in my backpack, that's what I'm putting on the camera. So, plus the f4, and if you're outside in the sun and daylight, like makes it so you don't even really necessarily need an ND filter because you could just roll up your shutter speed a little bit more. But like you're not gonna, like if you're using the Sigma 16, you're never gonna make that 1.4 useful at daytime unless you're running like a ND 6 to 9 ND filter on it or something. So my two favorite lenses though for sure, the Sigma 16 and the 18 to 105. For the ZV-E10, I really do like that 10 to 18 because you can put that in standard stabilization and not have to crop in at all. And it does a pretty good job of keeping it stable at 10 millimeters. And it looks wide like this. So,
and I would suggest, I mean, I know the Sony is really great and all, it has OSS, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Tamron, if you can give up OSS, they have an 11 to 20 and it's a 2.8. Mm-hmm. So if you need a little bit more lower light, if you're going in different situations or you just want a little bit more separation from the background, you lose 1 millimeter, but you gain, that 2.8, which is pretty huge for content creation. So it's another great option. And I believe it's the same price or cheaper than the Sony.
It is. It's like 100. Well, it's about the same actually. The difference though to me is I would rather have OSS than have a lower aperture. Now, if that thing was a 1.4, that'd be a different answer. 2.8 is not enough for me to ditch the OSS because with that OSS, you can make that 10 millimeter pretty useful. It's going to look a little shaky, but it's not gimbal smooth or anything, and it's never going to be. But even then, with that 10 millimeter, if you wanted to put it in active stabilization, then it does look like a 16 or 17.
Right.
I did do kind of a side-by-side comparison with that lens on one of my videos, but they're both expensive though, and that's the hard part is like if you're going to spend $800 for a lens, for a $600 camera. I mean, that's a tough call. If you want it and need it, I hated that lens that everyone. Let me rephrase that. When everyone first came out with the reviews of the ZV-E10, I hated that everyone was showing that camera with that lens because I was
Right.
like, this is not how people are going to see this camera or use this camera. People are going to see that and go, oh, that looks great. And then they're going to get the kit lens and it's going to look like it's doubled zoomed in. And then I actually tried that lens on that camera and I was just like, oh man, I love this lens on this camera. I loved it on my A6400 as well. And I tried that 10 to 18 on the A7S III. You had to zoom it to like 12 millimeters to get rid of the cropping or the vignetting. But that thing was pretty fun on there too. But yeah, for affordable lenses, Sigma 16, I'd start with that. It's a good lens. You're gonna always have like kind of one look for most of the time, as far as like your focal length. But if you can only afford one lens, but if you have your kit lens, if you got the camera with the kit lens, then at least you have somewhat of a zoom lens, as well as a 16. So the cool thing with that 18 to 105, though, let me rephrase that, is it's an $800 lens, but you can find that on like Facebook and Craigslist and stuff for like $400 all the time. I paid like $400 for mine, and it's the one lens I'm never going to sell because it's the most useful lens. Plus, it's a power zoom, so that lens works with the ZV-E10's zoom rocker, which is kind of cool. Not often you really zooming in while you're filming necessarily, but it's kind of a fun thing to have control over. Plus, if you're using like the camera on a gimbal, having that power zoom, you can control it with the gimbal usually. And there's a lot of cool features with that 18 to 105, and you can find a really good prices on that. So
that's funny. So Eddie Nunez, he in the comments here, he's the new producer Paul for Drone Bruce. I had to check out, see what the heck he was talking about. He said, I'm on the big screen on Drone Bruce Live, and I'm like, what we're on the big screen, and I look back, and in Ken's shot I could see a big TV, and he's got our stream going on in the background. I think it's funny.
we should do the same, Paul.
What's that?
We should put theirs on ours.
Yeah, that'd be funny. This is where I started.
I've had to go back and watch a lot of Ken's videos not live, which is not as fun because I love watching the live stream, and all the comments on his channel are always just gold. He's got some fun characters that like to comment a lot.
Yeah, we might have to switch up the date. If we can find a better date, we might have to do it. But looks like you're bringing a lot of people in tonight. You're bringing a lot of people in here tonight. Nobody's coming on my channel. They're all going on yours. Deontay, you need to like stop going on his channel and go on mine and increase my.
Yeah, I don't know how this exactly works. If it just ties, I mean, obviously it's bringing in both into our program, but
it is.
That is funny that they're watching. Yeah, they are watching.
Like, so when I find out when I comment from me in Restream, it doesn't show up in your chat. You would have to comment from you. So if I want to interact with your side, I have to like have the stream open and me comment on your video.
So the Restream thing doesn't go to both?
My chat doesn't go to your audience, and your chat doesn't go to my channel.
Yeah, but
unless you were on.
But when you're in Restream and you select the R logo instead of our channels, does it go to both?
Oh yes, it will. Yes.
Okay.
So I guess that is the way around it. You're right. I'm interested. Let's just test that. I don't know how it would show up.
I don't know. What's Eddie using for camera these days?
Eddie, he's always a Canon fanboy.
Okay.
He's using a. Okay, that is cool. So when you use the Restream, it replies as whoever's hosting it. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Steve W, man. What's up, dude?
I've always wondered when I see WB in a row, I always think white balance.
What's that?
I always see his name and I would say Steve White Balance. I don't know why.
The only thing that stinks about this is your audience can't see my audience's comments, all of them. I think that's
true.
the only bummer.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's too bad. But I think it's cool. The Lumix, we just had to make sure we show some things here. The Lumix King is here trying to convert you guys. Yeah. Until Panasonic ever comes back out with autofocus that actually works again, they don't stand a chance. Now, when they do, they have a really, really good chance because everything else about them is actually really, really great. If they would, Hi, bro. What's up?
I don't know if the shortages are going to really make a difference, but like, do you think that's going to make? I mean, I imagine like all the camera companies are dealing with the same stuff, unless they're not trying to push out as much. So, I mean, like, is companies like Fuji and Canon and Nikon going to kind of come back up to the level of Sony? And well, Canon's already up there with Sony, anyways. But I'm just saying,
I
like,
mean,
I feel like a lot of those other
figure out
cameras have been.
autofocus, maybe.
I'm just saying, is it possible that while we're waiting for these cameras to come back in stock, that some of these other companies pump out some new stuff that competes well? I don't know.
But everybody's in the same chip shortage, and I'm sure it's worse for companies like, okay, for instance, Panasonic's full frame cameras now, they're using a Sony sensor. Do you think Sony is gonna send them
True
stuff when they can't even fill their stuff? I don't know. I think if I was Sony, I'd film me first, and then I don't know. It's interesting, but does the chip shortage affect the sensors? Does it only affect the processors inside of it? I mean, I don't know. Paul Feinberg, that mic is covering your face. Yes, Bob, it is. It's a huge dang microphone. Like I really like the way this thing sounds, though. It's just here. Do you want me to like lower it? Does it sound? Do I sound nearly as good, Kyle, when I lower it?
I think. I mean, I can hear. This is the first time, by the way, I've been able to hear myself because I'm actually running through the headphone out on the Rode NTG for the first time. Because normally in these live streams, you can't hear yourself. You just I hear you. But yeah, today I'm doing this, and it's a little weird. But normally when I wear these over ear headphones, like I feel weird when you're just isolated from everything and can't really hear yourself.
So everybody that's showing me some sweet love here from the Dobo channel, I miss you all. I saw that I was in the back of the of Dobo's TV. Gosh, you gotta love Ken, great guy. But I will give everybody a heads up that I am taking my Part 107 test tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern time. So we'll see. You'll see how I do. I've been studying like crazy for the last week, and before this week, I already had taken all the classes for Remote Pilot 101 and the test, and I didn't pass it until I didn't like the first time I took it, even after taking all the course. Like I took too long to do all the courses. So pretty much this last week I went and retook literally all the courses besides like the Part 107 questions that I already aced all the time. And so I've been getting I've been hunting for like every practice test known to man, and I have passed them with anywhere between an 88 to a 95. So, and every single time I get questions wrong, it always has to do with like weather, and not like METARs. I think those are really easy, but like weather that's like, you have precipitation and this and this and this. What's going on? What's the characteristic of this? I get stable air and unstable air, but when they start like, you gotta say when like the humidity is blah blah blah, and what happens, what's going on during all this. I guess I was not very good at science. I don't know. Eat that much. Everybody wants me to eat. So here's a funny story tonight. I was watching. There was a guy doing a stream, and they had Tom Buck. He had Tom Buck on as a guest tonight. He's got like a number of guests tonight, and one of the things he's talked about was somebody eating the mic. Like he hates how people eat the mic. like and eat the mic, and he was talking about eating the mic as like getting too close to it and having plosives. And I'm just sitting here watching the stream. I even commented in it because I didn't know if there was any Dobo people in there, but I said, well, good thing you haven't seen any of me on the original Dobos, stream, months back or whatever, because that's the big joke is eating them. I can't eat this mic; it's too big, man. I mean, I can't even like this. It's huge, but it sounds better. Everybody says so. No, we want you to put that.
If they're gonna, if Ro's gonna send you a free microphone, you're gonna use it, right? Have you tried using that NT5 yet?
Oh, it sounds so good. Now, I think this sounds better because when you can get a microphone close, I haven't tested the like NTG5 as like this. I still think, I don't know, I like the look of, even though it's big, it looks podcasty or live streamy. But that NTG mic sounds so good for talking head videos. Like I thought, like I wouldn't be able to tell a big difference between the NTG video mic and the NTG5, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to tell that. Oh, you can tell big, like there's more low end and more. It's like I don't know, a more boomy. I don't know. I like it. It resembles more of a this type of microphone, but for a shotgun out of the shot, I think it sounds really great. So
I don't know if this one got posted yet or not, Paul. Sorry, my
yes.
computer's behind my camera, by the way, because of the crappy setup I have right now.
He that was like when we were at the end of it. Whoa! You see this? Lifted just said $100 Venmo to eat the mic. Really? I mean, I can't eat this thing.
Too much.
$100. If this guy was legit, I might actually do that. But
for everyone who's not, if anyone's tuned into my channel to watch this, you're not seeing the comments that are coming through, but he's getting a lot of inside jokes from the original Dobo channel because Paul was the co-host on Drum Brews for the last year and change.
Yeah, so here we'll show some of those comments from this lovely group of people. Just
I mean, we're gonna have to get like a road sponsorship if you're gonna try to do that too, right?
Oh yeah, Road, will you sponsor me to eat it? What night? I'm curious. Since you guys are all in here, we've toyed with changing the stream day to like another time so that you all can like come in. Is there a day that works best for you? Another night that works best for you guys? I'm just curious. Just hit us up in the comments. Let us know. Because
I'm pretty much any day. I think we talked before Tuesdays and Thursdays were possibilities, but
yeah, I'm not so. I mean, I don't have to do it on a Wednesday. I think we did it on a Wednesday because I've always done it on a Wednesday. But I would prefer everybody to be able to join us if they want to. I think. I mean, obviously, we don't talk about a lot about drones, but I feel like you guys are loving sport. I mean, I'm going to be talking about drones. I almost talked about drones tonight because I'm getting hopefully I'm getting my part 107 tomorrow. But, yeah. Oh
these
man,
comments are just nuts.
These comments are just out of control. You guys are amazing.
Now I'm gonna have to definitely go back and watch the Ken's stream for tonight and see what other jokes are happening on there. So
they've got to be. He must have like told everybody to come over here in droves because they.
I can't read it in these comments, Paul, because my camera's blocking the video. Like I said, my rudimentary setup tonight because of this room. Well, now
Thumbs
Ken's even posting on here.
Hit the like button, y'all. Yeah. Hey, I haven't. Okay. Hey, here, Dobo. Now Dobo is coming in here and telling me, Dobo, do you think I can actually eat this microphone? By the way, that was a really cool TV you had in your background there. That was nice. Thanks for helping me with my watch time. I need that all I can. I can't even get super chats right now. So even if I did eat this microphone, I couldn't do it. I'm like hovering at like 3,840 watch hours. I don't know what the deal is. I guess I got to put more content out. Slacking.
just
Once I
means
get my
that
part 107.
I mean, some of your earlier videos had a lot of watch time, and once that passed a year, they kind of disappear. So
Exactly.
I suppose I would get them too, don't I? I would be able to do. I don't know. I don't know much about super chats and all that crap, but I think my channel is probably eligible to do it. So
Got money riding on it. He's got money riding on it. I mean, Ken, where is it? Where was this? I'm going to show you somebody was volunteering your funds. He said, where do you say? Where is it? So Eddie Nunez was like, yo, $100. Hey, if I ate it for $100, look at all these people. Look at this. We have some more people here.
is $100 worth your dignity, Paul?
My wife would be very sad at me. That's for sure. Come on, let's see you win $100. I mean, look, these comments are just hilarious. I mean, take a deep breath. I mean, come on, really? So those of you in Kyle's chat, you can't see this on this, but it's pretty funny. So here, Eddie Nunez said that Dobo said he will Venmo you $100. Really? If I know I could do this, if I cheated and took this off.
Like
this stream took a turn.
Yep.
You think so?
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of the side channel. It's the original Dobo side channel at the moment, which is cool. Paul, I can't wait to get.
$100 really real now?
Yeah.
Oh yes, see, Quadcopter knows exactly how I could pull it off.
Are they still streaming right now over there? Have they just vacated their channel or their show tonight just to continue?
I don't know, man.
Are they done?
See, the microphone isn't that big once you pull this like big foam honky dory thing off.
Okay, their stream is over now, so.
Oh yeah, their stream ends at 10 o'clock. We're just going. Caleb Hoover, what is happening? So much money being thrown. Caleb Hoover, he wants me.
Caleb, it depends on what channel you
this microphone.
I say Caleb, really it all depends on what channel you came in on.
The foam is off.
Well, now that mic looks a whole lot more usable. The only problem is that microphone seems like it has a lot of pop. It needs a pop filter.
That's the thing about this. You really need this to make it to cut out on the plosives. But if the trick is unscrewing this and then cutting this and shoving it in the top of it so that it cuts down that, I might try it out, just not with this one because this is like a really expensive Rode one that they sent me. I mean, really. Oh gosh, I don't know. $100 is a good amount of money. I could buy. That funds my music streaming for like.
What the hell?
Actually, that would fund this stream for another few months. Unlike
we're getting some spammy crap here.
That's about as far as I can go. Does that count? I don't know. This got weird.
Sorry, but Paul, I just had to block some stuff out of the comments. We had some weird Nazi crap coming through our. Someone said they'll actually pay you not to do it. Oh, you should have found the market there, Paul. What are you going to do with that $100 anyways? All the chip shortages and cameras, you can't put it towards anything right now, anyways, right?
Yeah.
Are these? So here's my question, Paul, and maybe this is a question that someone else can answer from the Dobo channel's viewers right now. Is there like some shortages going on? Is this affecting like the Mavic 3s and?
That's a very good question.
products?
Yeah, is the chip shortage affecting the drone world? I think if Ken is out there in this chat, which if he did, I did it. I didn't get the whole thing, but I'm not that pro. That's a big one. But that's what she said. But are you guys seeing at DroneWorks like a shortage of supply because of drones because of the chip shortage as well? That's a very interesting question. Or if anybody in the chat from that's big on the drones when are looking to purchase them, have you guys seen a hard time getting some of these higher end DJI drones or anything? I need moderators, Paul. You're right. You know what, Bob Casey, you're gonna get it. All right, Mr. Bob Casey. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, also DJI, with the 4D thing, I don't know is it just called the DJI 4D camera or whatever? That, like, is that going to be a thing that gets put in production soon too? More, and is that affected? I just kind of want to know how far this is starting to really go.
Yeah,
Some of the
I'm
other
curious
smaller
if anybody
components,
in the chat knows.
Well, someone just said it was reading an article that's not just the chips, it's other smaller components, electrical components. That makes sense too. And I'm sure some of
Yeah.
it's like being able to hire staff and production. I mean, I don't know. It's obviously all the stuff's being made in China and things like that. So,
And Caleb Huber, I like Dr. Pepper, and it seems like there are some places that can't get the Dr. Pepper. I went to Chick-fil-A the other day, and they were out of Dr. Pepper. And I went to a gas station the other day, they were out of Dr. Pepper. I mean, I don't know what the deal is. I guess that's like my fate telling me I don't need to drink Dr. Pepper, but
it's good to know that my mouse works on my leg. I really need to hurry up and get the studio done. Paul, by the way, my next video is probably going to be putting the studio together. Did you see? I posted a thing yesterday on Twitter. I mounted the A7S III on a Magic Arm connected to the paint roller. It's a weird thing. I posted it on Twitter, didn't hashtag it, didn't do anything like that. And that thing just keeps, like, every 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, someone likes the post. Oh, someone likes the post. I don't know how that thing's getting viewed right now, but I think I should have like changed my video into something completely different now. Everyone wants to see what else you can put that on. And I might have to do another video. Maybe I'll try to get like maybe I can get like Brockhurst or someone involved with it. Do like a what can you attach a camera to video, like a versus video. I don't know.
I don't know, but it's getting late tonight, so I appreciate all the people that stopped by from Dobo. I miss you guys. Like I said, if you have a night that you'd like to see us, hit me up. Let me know. If there's a night that works best for you guys. We're trying to toy around with different nights to see if there might be a better night for us to get. Because it seems like a lot of people do streams on Wednesday nights, and it's hard to choose between all these fantastic people that put shows on. Like Dobo, I mean, that guy is very entertaining. Why would you choose me over a Dobo? I mean, that guy is like, you never know what you're gonna get each night. And then you got producer Eddie Nunez, guy's a baller. But anyways, just let me know in the chat what night works best for you guys. What do you guys think? No lie, I'm thinking about getting a ZV-1. That's the thing, right? So Caleb Hoover said this. I don't know which channel he's on. Is he's on Kyle's or mine? But the ZV-1 is totally a thing, Kyle, right? I mean, yep. It's a great vlogging camera. So if you're thinking about increasing your channel, like vlogging and shots like that, I mean, look, Teppo just got one, and
Story of the ZV-1.
Oh, that's the only thing is you got to make sure you buy a ton of batteries for that thing, because that thing is gonna.
They do go through batteries. I mean, you're talking about if you're not using 4K, it does last longer. But no, Caleb, I was actually going to bring that thing to the Viking game. I met Caleb. He's a Steelers fan. Caleb's from South Dakota. I got that right, I think. Yeah, I don't want to offend him and say North Dakota. But yeah, his family went up to the Steelers Viking game a few weeks ago, and during like halftime, I met up with him over there. But I was going to bring that camera with me, and I forgot to.
So Deontay asked me what drone will I be flying when I pass my 107. And honestly, I'm going to be flying the same drone that I have been flying for quite some time now. And that is the Altel Evo 2. I don't have the Pro. I just have the regular 8K. Thank you to Dobo. He gave it to me when we first started working together a little bit. He just was like, "Hey, you need a better." I was flying the Mavic Pro, and I crashed it, and my gimbal was like, I don't know. I had replaced the ribbon cable on it a few times, and it just never fixed it. So he ended up giving me the Evo 2, and it's been a great drone for me. And I mean, I have no problems with it. I wouldn't mind to get upgrade possibly to either a DJI Air 2S or even like the new Evo 2 Lite. But I like the reason why even if I had a DJI drone, I would have to keep this thing around, because when you're doing like commercial work, you need everybody should have an Altel drone, just for the geofencing on DJI is crazy. Even if you have a waiver for a certain area, there are sometimes where DJI will not even let you take the drone off because of the geofencing that's in that area. Even if you're allowed to and legally able to, and you get your waiver and approval from the FAA, it still will not allow you to take off. So the Altel doesn't have those, so it's nice to have that as a backup. And so and when you're doing this, like I took the Mavic out one time to do something, and it died, and I couldn't get it wouldn't take off. It kept telling me gimbal error, and so I literally was able to figure out, like, turn it on its side and trick it into turning on. But if that was like a commercial thing, and my drone wouldn't turn on, it doesn't. If somebody paid me to do something, and your drone stopped working, you kind of have to have a backup anyway. So I'm always going to keep this drone for sure as a backup, even if I were to upgrade to something. But right now, I mean, I'm still really happy with it. And I mean, when I start doing client stuff, I'm sure that I will upgrade and have two. Like I said, when you start doing those client stuff, you want to have a backup. But we'll see. Of course, I will reach out to the one and only Dobo and his shoot. Oh my gosh. He's gonna slap me in the face right now for DroneWorks. My gosh. You gotta go through a dealer, because they always treat you the best, and if you have any warranty issues, they fix it out for you. So
I'm kind
I
of
will
just
always
waiting to see like an Mavic Air 2S on sale or used or something like that too. I don't fly drones a lot. I would like to again. I need to obviously have a 107 to use, commercially. Anything on this channel at this point would be commercial. I'm not sure how many people would be looking at my channel that it's not a drone channel from the FFA, FAA, FF. I don't think the Future Farmers of America care.
Future Farmers of America.
But I mean, it's something that if you're a monetized channel, you want to just go get your 107 and whatnot. So,
you know that you don't want me flying a
Yeah.
FPV drone right now. Dobo knows that, because after like 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, I don't know, I just destroyed his drone.
That was
in
a funny video.
one
You guys
quick
haven't watched it. That was like 30 seconds, Paul. I mean, you just like beelined it right into a fence.
Let's see. He let me fly it. I went up for maybe 15 seconds. Yeah, I guess you're right. Probably about 30 seconds. I went up 15 seconds. He's like, whoa, you're flying towards that fence here. Let's just take it down. And I took it down. And then he's like, all right, let's try one more time. I'm like, all right. Then I took it up, and he's like, whoa. Done. So yeah, that was.
It's like Kevin Cox here.
I can't.
Oh, now I just did it, Paul. I'm sorry. I zoomed in on something here. Apple mouse.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a hard time doing
channel.
this today because if you guys just tune in late, I completely ripped my room apart, my studio here, completely redoing all the walls, the paint, the setup, the layout, and I'm literally using my lap right now as a desk, and I have a camera on my Mac just sitting on the foundation wall here, so it's hard to see anything. So Kevin, I guess he found my channel through ZV1 content. So Kevin, do you have a ZV1? I'm assuming then. How are you liking it?
Yeah. FlyZone, I haven't used Pilot Institute, but I used Remote Pilot 101. Would that change if I were to go today? I honestly don't really know, but I will say that I've gotten some great free study stuff from Pilot Institute. So, and some of that, the way it was described was a, a little bit better than Remote Pilot 101. So, based on some of the free stuff I got from them, I would probably go Pilot Institute, but I can't personally vouch for it because I never used it. But I will say that the Remote 101 is good, but uh, I wish I would have been able to take both of them, and so I can compare and really tell people like what the biggest difference was between them, the two. Because there are some things that I feel were breezed by fairly quickly in Remote Pilot 101, where it didn't go into super big detail. And I had to actually email them for support to explain some of the questions that I didn't get right because I felt like they weren't explained fully in the videos. And I will say that their customer support was very good. They got back to me within like less than an hour on those questions. So as I was studying, and I think it was even within like 15 minutes. So as I was studying, they got back to me very quickly, and I was able to keep, asking them a few more questions and dig deep into those questions. So I would say, at least from the Remote Pilot 101's like customer service side, is they were really great. But there were some videos where I feel like they could have gone in a little bit more detail, and but so I don't. But they've been great. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see tomorrow. If I don't pass it tomorrow, which I hope that's not the case, I'll definitely go get my money back from Remote Pilot 101 and say, sorry, I failed it. But
2 questions. So Kevin did right back here too. Love my ZV-1 for vlog stuff. Super light and portable, easy to take out and about. 100%. That's why this camera is what it is. Also, he asked what we're using for software right now. It's Restream.io.
Restream.io. So Dobo and I used to use StreamYards, which, because these things you need, something that's easy that you can invite guests in. They just send them an easy link like a Zoom call and just jump them right in. And this has all of that and has all the interface. And it's just easy. I pay like $15 a month for this, whatever. But
we are using the 720p version right now.
Right, we're just using 720, not the 4K. If you want the 4K, you got to pay like $50 a month. So
yeah, or the 1080. I think the 1080 we might update to soon. So if you guys are ever wondering why the A7C and the A7S III don't look great streaming, it's also because we're using 720 streaming software. So,
but it's great. I mean, the software itself has been fantastic. The audio is definitely better than StreamYards. So, and Dobo can vouch for that. Like the audio level quality went immediately up when he switched from Stream. And I didn't even get to be a part of that necessarily too much when we switched over from Restream on his end. But going back and listening to the videos and talking with Dobo, the audio was just way better from Restream. So highly suggest Restream over StreamYards if you're going to be going for some streaming software. And it's $15 a month for 720. I think it's like 30 or 50 or 40. I don't know. You have to look at it for
I'd be curious
4K.
To see what mine will do for a higher resolution, anyways, because my download speeds here are great, but my upload speed at my house is like 6. Like it's not great. So even I've noticed even at times that on playbacks my footage looks awful. And yours will look great, but I think some of that has to do with my upload speeds and stuff too here. So
I have thought about Ecamm, Kevin, but it is pricey as well. I think it's the other thing. Like they didn't have a cheap plan. I don't believe they had a cheap plan. I think it was like $50. We both, Kyle and I both have Macs, so it's not a problem. And we're hardcore Final Cut Pro users, so we're gonna always have a Mac. But
I mean, Hive Podcast has he uses Ecamm over there, and we've both been on his channel, and I don't remember mine looking like 4K. So for me, I think it's because my upload speeds just are not making
Right.
my footage as good as it could
And
be.
that's the
So
thing. It doesn't matter what your, what the program can output as. If your internet at your house is kind of slow, then it doesn't really do a big difference to do so in 20p unless your other guests have better. So I actually I'm kind of excited. I start seeing trucks outside of my neighborhood for AT&T, and it looks like they're starting to install fiber. My brother's neighborhood is like 2 or 3 miles away from me, and they got fiber installed like literally like a month ago or 2 months ago, and he this is like his first month or second month using him, and he said it's been super fast. So I'm hoping that that's what they're doing, and that within this year sometime that I can cut freaking the cable company I'm with, because they're raping me for what they're what I'm paying for how fast it is crazy. So I'm really looking forward to, hopefully that's going to happen. And my brother said that he got like gigabit fiber for like cheaper than he was for the same plan that I'm on here. So I'm really excited about that.
yeah, like I said, I get really good download speeds, but my upload speeds are awful here. And I've looked at other companies and stuff too, and a lot of them have the same issues. They're all fast download, slow upload.
Do I know somebody from Sony named Nick Gurr? No, but doesn't mean if I saw them, I might know them, because if they do Sony events, I mean, Sony's a big company, but if they do Sony events, there's a possibility that I've seen him if he was at any of the B Alpha events in Orlando or the Camera Camp. So I don't know. But the name itself, it doesn't. I don't know. I'd love to, if I couldn't do content creation full time, I would love to work for like one of these companies like Sony or Rode, being like a content creator, like, or guest relations person or something. I don't know. I feel like it'd be kind of cool job.
Confused by this comment. You seen it, Paul?
Not a real name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's it referring to? Is it referring to the Nick Gurr, or is it
Nick Gurr? Maybe it's not real. Maybe they're messing with me. I don't know. Spectrum. Spectrum is yes. That's the company that I have. No. Yeah. Anyway, Bob Casey, you're having to say goodnight. Thanks for stopping by. We gotta cut this short now because we've been going on for almost an hour and a half. And
yeah, I still gotta paint this wall. I still gotta make dinner, Paul.
Oh man.
I got steak bites waiting for me upstairs to cook.
Are you an hour behind me?
Yep.
Yeah, so wow.
I don't work tomorrow though. I got tomorrow off. So my plan is to get this room painted.
Tomorrow off. Well, guess I have tomorrow off too. I'm going to take the part 107 tomorrow. I have until Tuesday off, and I haven't been to work for a month.
Oh
wow. Needless to say, I see all these emails going through for IT stuff at my school, and it's like blowing up. And like my brother works with me in the area, and he had to go to my school today to help fix some of the problems because it really blew up today, and it's not having somebody there for a month is killer for IT stuff. But anyway,
Kevin's
everybody,
real quick,
I hope you guys have a
here.
great night. What's that?
I had a comment here. Kevin, he just asked what color am I painting here. The two colors I'm picking were suggested by Chris and Becky. It's black and designer white from Benjamin Moore. So it'll look like Matty Apoya and Becky and Chris, and probably anything that you see black and white, that's probably the two colors. I'm sure Sydney's is the same too.
Oh yeah, Sydney
it's a nice white
from them as well.
It's a weird white though. Like I have all this woodwork, and it's almost too bright for this woodwork.
What are you going to do with the woodwork?
That backdrop hides the closet. The doors I'm going to leave. So, but then that back wall will be black. The back wall will be black, and the wall, the other side of my desk will be black as well.
I feel like the door is being brown is like going to be a little bit of an eyesore or stick out or something.
Yeah. The only problem is like I don't want to just paint one room in this house and then have every other room in the house have woodwork. So, and that door is like 2 years old. So
we'll just have to put a sound blanket in front of your door. There you go.
Something, yeah. No, I'm gonna have the layout probably kind of similar to my old setup. I'm gonna have that other desk That stand-up desk though be kind of an L-shaped desk, and then I can move that out if I need to use it. So I used to use that like IKEA cheap desk back here, and a lot of times it's a low desk. So like I had this little stool, I'm like sitting on the ground basically. And I was like, I want this thing to be up higher so the bottom shelves on my shelf don't show up. And because that's usually where you put all the junk is the bottom two shelves of your setup over there. And
Yeah.
so I started putting cardboard boxes underneath one of the desktops so I could like pretend it was a standing desk. I just couldn't put any weight on it; it would fall over. So I got a real standing desk now. I got the same IKEA Carlby top for the countertop that's on my desk at my regular desk, anyways. So hopefully I can get this thing painted and get this set up in the next week because I got to get that video edited and done. Back to working on this stuff. So I was supposed to be doing
we'll
that.
see you in the new looking
Yeah.
studio, huh?
I was supposed to get that Crane M3 video done, but it's like until today it's been nice. Today's been like 36 degrees, but it's been like -20 for the last like week.
Have they been bugging you?
No, but I get comments from people who are waiting for that video to come out on my channel. So
Yeah.
people want to see what the ZV-1 and ZV-E10 look like with that gimbal. So
All right, everybody. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. It's been a little bit longer night than usual, but hey, we have fun. I'm thankful for all the Drone Brews guys stop by and say hi. We appreciate you guys, and like always, you guys I'll see you guys in the future.
yep, later.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! One shot for the kill, the breeze cut, freeze up, straight dropping the chills. I'm talking, taking over pieces and shares. A bomb break sky high, check the movement is here. Yeah. It's one heart, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
That didn't work.